United and defiant, throngs of workers hit the picket lines.
My friends, when we work together in solidarity, we will win, and we will win this fight.
That's right.
Scenes like this stretch right across the country, from St. John's to Winnipeg to Vancouver. More than 155,000 Public Service Alliance of Canada workers say they need a better deal from the government.
I think that we're showing them that we're here and they need to listen to what we want.
Ultimately, I'm just trying to get ahead in life, have an independent life, get out of the parents' basement.
Every time you go to the store, the prices are unbelievable. The gas keeps going up.
Canadians are already feeling this strike. Some services like pension and employment insurance payments will continue, but new passports will only be issued in exceptional cases.
I had no idea that there was going to be some type of issue today.
This man was hoping to get a passport for his son, who is in Thailand.
It's just upsetting, you know what I mean? Like, we need to get this done. And so we've been out there since COVID. My son hasn't seen my family yet, right? Because we need to deal with all the visas and passports. And today was supposed to be like the final day to get everything done.
The government warns of long waits processing taxes, immigration papers, passing through borders, and more.
To Canadians, we know that our strike poses unneeded challenges.
The main sticking point is wages. The union wants a 13.5% increase over 3 years. The government has offered 9%.
We will continue to work with the PSAC to reach agreements that are fair and competitive, but we cannot do that unless the union is prepared to compromise. We cannot write a blank check.
Other issues include job security and remote work provisions. The government says that'll hurt its ability to function.
The reality is Canadians have every right and expectation to see the services that they expect delivered.
The government says it'll let the strike process play out for now, as pressure from workers and the opposition builds.
So we are calling on Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government to get their act together to resolve this strike, to come to an agreement.
That's awesome.
The leader of the party propping up this government, the NDP, joined workers on the picket line on Parliament Hill.
Kate, any sense of whether the government might force an end to this strike?
The government was asked again today about the possibility of back-to-work legislation, and for now it sounds like that's not in the cards. The Prime Minister says both sides are still negotiating. Both sides say that they're open to compromise, and the union says there has been some movement at the bargaining table, particularly on the issue of wages. Now, the Prime Minister did mention that Canadians do not have unlimited patience, so we'll see whether or not their position changes as this thing drags on.
All right, Kate McKenna in Ottawa, thank you. Chris Aylward is the national president of PSAC. Chris, you're asking for 13.5% raise over 3 years. The government's raised their offer to 9%. Why is that not enough?
Because we've said, David, all along that we want to make sure that workers in this country are at least being kept in line with the rate of inflation. So you're absolutely right. We're asking for 13.5% over 3 years. For that same period, inflation is at 13.8%. Workers cannot keep falling further and further behind in the current economic context.
Okay, this is not an ordinary employer. The government could force you back to work through legislation. Are you expecting that?
No, I mean, this government has committed to introducing and tabling anti-scab legislation this year. So for a government that's, prepared to table anti-scab legislation, which we welcome for sure, I sure hope they're not real trigger happy on back-to-work legislation.
Even though you're on strike, the talks do continue. Are you seeing promising signs in those negotiations?
Yes, David, we're still at the table, and both sides are, we're still making compromises and in hopes to get to a tentative agreement.
All right, Chris, thank you.